Hey Pisces. January 2024, Capricorn season reading. All information to work with me one-on-one is below, as well as a link to the extended version of this reading, which we get more in depth into the cards, which will be in the first link below. Give it about 24 to 48 hours, as always, for it to become available on Patreon. Big Taurus cards, Taurus vibes. First card's out. You may be having much contemplation over who it is you think you are and who it is that you really are. Over to what you're externally attached to and how that plays a role in your life, plays a role in what you believe. We just got a lot of cards that fell out. We will use them all. You may be discovering that there's more than meets the eye with the Hierophant and the Empress. That there's more than meets the eye with yourself. You may be exposing and voicing. Taurus also has to do with the throat, if we're going to go with that. Things that weigh on your mind. They both are wearing crowns as well, which emphasizes the crown chakra, and they both have something in their hands, which also can denote electricity, gathering information from heaven and earth, because it's something that goes on the ground, but they hold in their hands that connects to the ether. The serpent. There's so many different interpretations, but mainly there's this connection happening with you, and you're able to transmute it into the physical world. That's something that time and time again, you've accepted this kind of offer. You've wanted this kind of communication in your external life. There may be more fulfillment in this direction as well. For those of you, you may be even contemplating marriage differently and what marriage looks like and what that looks like with a person. If anyone is unsure, or if you're with someone and you find that there's something that you need to talk about before making any next steps, now is definitely the time to have these futuristic conversations that will affect you mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. You may realize that the effect on your self-worth and who you are, and stepping into more of a powerful position where you have a lot more mental control over maybe what has stressed you out. And again, this Nine of Pentacles bringing up this attachment to what you have created or what you've acquired up until now, and where your discipline lies. Are you disciplined to the outcome or the expectation? Or what if you do this and this, it should or appears to equal for others? Where do you put your confidence? Where do you put your energy? Where do you put your time? What position do you find yourself in? Have you given much thought to what a fulfilling life will be? And I have so many questions for you, but now it's like, what does that look like with someone, and then also independently, and how can that come together? Five of Swords. There's a situation while this about your worth and fulfillment and independence financially looks like, as well as the situation that you're in doesn't seem to be the best. And there's an opportunity that comes around when you realize that no matter how you handle the situation, what you're being disciplined to is a larger goal. You realize that you may come to a realization, or you may realize that this perspective, this new creative idea asks you these questions. Maybe what are you willing to give is the first one. What does it look like to direct this creativity, this passion? What energy do you need to have? And what is it that you're now weighing out because of what you need to put into for this to be a plan, for this to be something that you really want, that you want to put energy into, that you want to give to? It's both independent yet rewarding. You know, it's Aries, Libra. It's like doing this for myself, but it's for the greater perspective. It's for the balance. It's for this. And it's funny because those are what the the nodes have shifted into, and we'll find that more in the second part. But there's an expansion happening in your mind for sure. And then you trickle down and you look at your life and you see maybe different situations that no longer, like that putting energy towards them in the way that you have is no longer working. That unfortunately there's a need to shift because you realize this fulfillment isn't just financial independence. It's where you're putting your energy and how that's being reciprocated, how you're expending yourself. We can think that we're expanding by expending, but really expansion happens when we realize what we can no longer feed into, which therefore feed into within ourselves or outside of ourselves, which therefore will show expansion externally. It's like more time, more energy. Is this worth thinking about? What if I handle this a different way? What if I know that I actually have the better ideas or the better thoughts? And what if I take them and put them into play differently? Yeah, you'll feed your ego, but it looks like it's necessary. The bottom of the deck, we have the ace and the 2 tens. We'll put these out in the next part. It's this very obvious look at where your traditional values are being weighed out with the external comforts, the things that make the small things that make you really, and that feels really good to be alive, right? It's very Taurus. I find that Pisces and Taurus share this. These creature comforts that have been so quickly attainable. And how those, and leaning into those at times when you feel like you have no more to give, how do you give back to yourself? Like right in that moment, like maybe that same day. Doesn't mean you have to go out and spend money either. Or maybe you find that someone naturally gives you or offers to give you one of these things, and all of a sudden your mood shifts or something lifts and you realize that you are taken care of. And I think leaning into that understanding and trusting, right, becomes more of a muscle that you are taken care of, that you have, and your ideas will provide you with the energy. Once you commit, right, it will provide you with the energy to see it through. Because what a world it would be if you committed to something and you didn't have energy. What would that mean, right? We can put that into a metaphor, like what happens if your energy runs out? Maybe that's something that's happening. And what you realize is it's because it's no longer maybe the right place for you, the right fit for you, right? Maybe something about how your routine has been needs to shift. You're having a routine change, a routine checkup right now. Checking on your mental, spiritual, emotional, physical, and how those all connect. When you feel weak in one area, how it affects the other area. And then how that affects your ego and how much you have to give, and where your giving maybe stems from how you feed your ego, and how you're addressing yourself again is changing. It's important that you pay attention to your gut feelings at this time more than ever. And how your gut feeling redirects you in your life. Shows up when you really need that answered prayer, answered question. To me, questions are prayers. So I trust that all my questions will be answered because I have a lot. Just saying, the mutable side. It's very mutable. It's organized, though. This month is very organized. Your family, how you give and share your energy, what that has to do with fulfillment will become very apparent to you. You may even connect deeper. You find that being disciplined to this side of yourself that knows that even if someone says something to you or something happens externally, that internally you're aware that they may not be coming from the best place, or they may be coming from a hurt place. To really separate yourself, separate those waters a little. I know it's like everything's murky, but separate yourself from what isn't aligning with you. Even if you have to deal with certain people physically, you have to separate yourselves from being grouped up, because that's where the independence lies. That yes, a lot of things are entangled and connected in our lives, but at the same time, they're only there showing us what we need to find out. And if it's been a while, maybe a few years, and you finally realize, like, oh, this is what I've just needed to realize. Like, I need to sever myself from associating with people in this way, or associating myself with this kind of energy or with these kinds of situations, because what it's doing from me, it's actually taking away energy, and that's maybe where the leakage is, taking away energy from what is really important and what direction you need to go in, and it's not feeding your ego in a way that's helpful, because we all need an ego, and I've just emphasized that a lot with you because of these specific arcanas that have come out in the way that it shaped the reading, I mean. Yeah, you may put a lot of energy into what like rules look like for you, what boundaries look like for you, And you may find yourself to be very direct about them in the coming future. And some people won't take that so easy, just a warning, but it's, you know, it feels like a good step for you. And everyone seems to be being like really prepared this month for what each individual sign really needs for the coming month mentally. So we'll see, and we'll get more into that into the next part. And when you offer yourself and you offer, be sure if it's the person, it's not just passion. And also it's okay to call out what someone else may be offering you, and you just saying like, it's, you know, hey, I know what this situation is. It doesn't have to be anything else. And maybe that's what another situation that you decide needs more of a straightforward answer. Your defining lines are shifting. Yeah. Your non-negotiables, Pisces. That's what we're going to talk about. And that's what this reading is. We'll see you in the next part. All information is below. See you soon.